Hello, everyone. I am Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is a Get Ready With Me where I put on drag makeup to film videos later today. And alas, Cappuccino couldn't make the live. Thank you for checking in. And we have Lynette. Yay. Thank you for joining us, Lynette. If you're here, pipe in. Otherwise, Lynette and I are just going to have a conversation. How was your reading going this week? Or the last 2 weeks, because I missed last week. I read, let me check, because it's been a couple weeks, and have to look on Goodreads. Only use Goodreads just to track what I read. Oh yeah. Okay, I finished reading Space Cadet by Heinlein because I'm reading his juveniles. And then I wanted something fun and just like a single book. So I was thinking about Thistlefoot. And then I was thinking about, because I really want to read the Three Body Problem, the science fiction novel, but then I saw it was up to 4 books, and I just want something fun. So I read another Flavia de Luz mystery. What's it called? I'm Half Sick of Shadows. And then I wanted to read a middle grade book. And I know the Nebula Awards has the Andre Norton award for middle grade young adult, but I'm like, have I read any Andre Norton middle grade? So I picked up, well, this is funny. I wanted just to read one of her middle grades. So I was going to read Steel Magic, which is sort of a portal fantasy. And it was like $6.99 for the Kindle copy. And then I saw you can get the first 3 books in this series for $2.99 in Kindle, which makes no sense. You can get the first book for $6.99, or you can get all 3 books for $2.99. So I picked up the 3 books, but I only read the first one. It's sort of another Arthurian legend type portal fantasy. It reminded me of Alexander, whoever wrote the Black Cauldron, Purdain books. That's what it reminded me of, except in portal fantasy form. And then currently I am reading On Earth as It Is in Television. Okay, so here we have Lynette finished 5 books, including Outlaw Marriages, covering 15 famous gay couples fit to be read. Oh, thank you for jumping in. Got a few books with me, so you're covered. Yay, thank you. Enjoy Providence. I've never been to Provincetown. I should go. I should go to Provincetown. On the Ferry, reading The Ballad of Beta 2. I haven't read that one, by Samuel R. Delaney. Huh, I don't know that one. Is it a full novel or a novelette or novella? One of the couples was Gertrude Stein and Ellis Toklas. They're such interesting characters of the time. You read How to Stop Time, about a 400-year-old man, and he was in a bar and saw Gertrude Stein and Ellis Toklas walk in. Okay, so I should get started with something. I think I'm just going to do a blue look because I haven't done blue, just blue. I always have trouble starting with like a dark blue because I want a really dark blue. Maybe this one. Going with this one. I definitely don't want glitter. La la la, la di da da. Okay, so we're going to start with this dark blue. So one of my videos went viral, which is interesting. I mean, viral for me. It got like the Heinlein video got over 12K views, which is insane for me. And of course, that means the number of subscribers go up a little bit. So I was wondering if this would if it would translate to videos in general on my channel. And the answer is no. Because I don't think the people that really got into the Heinlein video are really booktube aficionados. I think they were mostly just fans of Heinlein. Which is fine. Because my Shove It or Shove It video, which followed it, wasn't a breakout. But I was kind of expecting that. The one video that did sort of benefit from the Heinlein bump was the Harlan Ellison video. So I'm thinking the viewers who are drawn to it are just drawn to biographies of classic science fiction authors. But I'm going to try to capitalize on it with doing that Heinlein video on women, which I may try to do today, but I haven't finished the script. So, but if I can finish it, I'll do it today. And then if I can edit it, just to keep up the momentum, I'll try to release it this week. How to Stop Time by Matt Haig gave 4.5. That's high for you, Lynette. Interesting. You were never fond of Heinlein. Well, like I said, I was a big fan in middle school. Actually, I was a big fan because I really got into Stranger in a Strange Land. And this was late 70s, early 80s. As a freshman in high school, so let's say 79. And then whenever he published since then, and I got like into a bunch of his other books from the 70s and 60s. And I pretty much kept up with him through the 80s. So I was a pretty big fan of Heinlein, but by the time I was reading his late 80s books, it did kind of feel like I had outgrown him, but continued to read, just because. I felt he was like an important influence in my reading growing up. But a lot of people seem to like the idea of doing a Heinlein's views on women. Oh yeah, spin the book or spin the wheel. Dun dun dun! You got The City of the Stars by Arthur C. Clarke. I don't know if I've read that one either. You guys are pulling up books. Oh, Lynette, I was thinking of you because I'm watching this series on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called Deadlock. And it's a police procedural based in Tasmania. And I was like looking at when I saw it, I was like, looking at the blurb, and it said it was a comedy. And I guess it is kind of a comedy. But when I hear comedy, I think of like the American sitcom where all the characters are sort of mugging for the camera or mugging for laughs and giving one-liners and, that type of thing. It's not that type of comedy. It's more of a comedy drama where the comedy is just on how quirky the characters are and the situations they find themselves. Because it's still a murder mystery. With two detectives, two female detectives. One's a lesbian who she and her partner are living in this Tasmanian town of Deadlock. And is that a real town? You would know. You watched the first episodes of Deadlock last night, but I don't think the comedy works for me. I think it would have worked better as a drama. But see, that's what I'm saying. I don't really think it's a comedy. But I like the relationship of the two detectives. But I was wondering how how realistic it is, just in terms of the setting in Tasmania. Because it was presented as a really rural rural area. Deadlock is not a real town. Okay. Okay, I'm going to find a lighter blue. Yeah, I'm kind of like watching it as sort of a comedy drama. And then my husband and I started watching the new season of The Witcher. Which is your basic fantasy, sort of epic fantasy type Netflix series. It's okay. A lot of people love it, but I just think I was okay. I was also a little amused by the scenery. It was meant to be East Coast, but some of the scenery seems to be West Coast. Typical county town, but over-exaggerated, of course. Of course, of course. I think it was actually filmed on location. I think I read somewhere it was filmed in Tasmania somewhere. Okay, so yeah, I really don't know anything about The Witcher other than the TV series. I thought it was like a video game, but I think it's also a novel. I'm not really interested in enough in the story to really seek it out, but no, no. Henry Cavill's in all 3 seasons. I mean, I'm watching the 3rd season now, and he's still in it. So maybe this is his last season, but definitely filmed in Tasmania. I want to. Let me take the dark further out. Geralt is the only character I like in The Witcher, but I wasn't keen on the 2nd season. Yeah, like I said, it's just something to watch. It's fantasy. Don't see much good fantasy on TV. Although, of course, they're coming out with the new Wheel of Time and the Rings of Power. I personally was a little disappointed in Wheel of Time and have issues with the Rings of Power, but why is this side? I always have one side that looks better. Thought Henry Geralt was leaving because he loves the books and was. Oh, I did not hear that. That is interesting. Well, like I said, all I know is he's on the 3rd season. The only show I'm anxious to see this year is The Umbrella Society. Henry of Geralt. It sounds like a character. Okay, so I'm going to try to find a... Even... Oh yes, and today we're having a new WIG. I swear I wasn't going to buy a new WIG, but then I saw this. There's a flash sale, and it was a hard front, which I liked. I prefer hard fronts over the other type, the lace fronts. Okay. I guess I could start going in. On the bottom. The Umbrella, I really like the Umbrella Academy. Was that based on a graphic novel? It feels like a graphic novel. But yeah, I really like that one too. I mean, there are some Netflix shows that I think have a lot of promise, but they didn't advertise it, or they didn't market it enough that it never got any views. And that's I forget what it's called. It's called like The Devil. It has a really strange name, but it's one of those sort of YA stories where the young man finds has some superpowers, and his is like maybe he's part vampire or something. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it's really it was done very well. And then there was another one with sort of an Australian comedian with like the really red hair, and he has like a little bit of a lisp, and he like plays kind of the bad guy or mad scientist. But both those series were canceled, so tell me about it. You see flash sale, and it's like sale, and also it's a wig type of wig I don't have. So, and this will be the last season. Oh, that's too bad about the Umbrella Academy, but it's kind of nice when they don't beat a dead horse, where they just don't continue filming seasons and seasons, and then it just goes nowhere. Too many streaming services, yep. Okay, so I think it's time to hit the black. And I don't want to go crazy, so I need smaller brush. So anyway, I think I'm going to, do more on video-wise, do more of the sort of biographies on science fiction authors. I still kind of want to continue to do the big three, at least for the classics. That's I already did Heinlein, but that leaves Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke. Although both of them have sort of this problematic issue, and I'm like struggling, should I bring it up or just, I kind of don't want to sweep it under the table or under the carpet. Being that Asimov probably was inappropriate with women, like in sci-fi conventions and whatnot. And that's pretty much, I think, admitted because he wrote this essay on dirty old men. I don't get it. But anyway, but the Clarke thing I may leave out because there are allegations of child abuse, but there is no substantiation. There's nothing, I mean, you have to look on, really Google for it. And he was definitely accused, and there was an investigation, but he was never, there's never any evidence. So should I bring that up? I don't know. Okay. You watched The Swarm based on Frank Schatzing's book. The series was 6 hours long. Wow. Audiobook was 37 hours, so much was left. Well, yeah. Book 9 out of 10, series 6 out of 10. I've heard of The Swarm, but I haven't seen it. Of the big three, I like Asimov the most. My favorite Asimov book is The Gods Themselves, and I liked Foundation, of course, and the I, Robot books. But I think I've read more Clarke and Heinlein. I definitely read more Heinlein of the three. Definitely read the most Heinlein. I don't know. It's already, but I read the autobiography and found it a bit boring. Oh, his personal autobiography. I remember hearing about the Arthur C. Clarke thing at the time. Yeah, and Clarke was probably, from what I've read, or Google research, he's probably gay. And the time he lived definitely messed with your head if you're a gay man. Sort of the 40s, 50s era. But I really liked Childhood's End is probably my favorite of Clarke. But I liked The Rendezvous with Rama. Um, what's the one with the space elevators? And then there's one about cloning. Imperial Earth was a good one. Although it probably didn't have like the big ideas like some of the other Clarke books. Arthur C. Clarke belonged to a book club of sci-fi authors who used to meet at a pub weekly. The other with John Wyndham and John Christopher. Oh, interesting. I haven't read anything by John Christopher. Definitely Wyndham, though. And Gods Themselves is your favorite Asimov book. Oh, you're probably interested. The guy who wrote the article about Asimov and his inappropriate behavior also wrote a book that seemed really interesting. I was thinking about buying it, but it's really expensive. It's about John C. Campbell and I think he wrote, but he's mostly known as an editor, and his relationship with Heinlein, L. Ron Hubbard, and Asimov. I think that was it. Here, I'll look it up for you. But it seemed really interesting. If I can just find the author's name. Okay, Alec Nivala Lee. So it looks like he's written some science fiction books too. Yeah, here it is. It's called Astounding. That can't be the full. Okay. Astounding, John W. Campbell, Isaac Asimov, Robert Heinlein, L. Ron Hubbard, and the Golden Age of Science Fiction. The best book to read by John Christopher, Death of Grass, also known as No Blade of Grass. All series of glass, including rice, wheat, etc., die off. Ooh, interesting. Wrote the Tripod series for kids. Oh, I may check the kids book out. Okay, I need to decide what I'm going to cut my crease with. So, should I just do silver? I've done blue and pink. Could do orange. Let's just do silver. I'm not going to go crazy today. Okay, so that means okay. I'm just going to use some, cut with white and try to blend a little bit with blue and then just do silver. He also wrote The Empty World, in which all adults die and children have to survive on their own. So, a Lord of the Flies type situation. Yeah, one of Heinlein's juveniles is kind of also has that Lord of the Flies situation called Tunnel in the Sky. Where kids are training, by kids I mean teenagers are training to be colonists. So they're learning survival skills and to travel to different planets. There's like wormholes or something. And so this group of kids go through a wormhole to be trained or to be tested in their survival skills. But then something happens and the wormhole collapses and stranded on this planet and have to figure out how to survive. It's one of his better juveniles. And yes, I have Heinlein on my mind because I've been preparing for this, or trying to do this video. I haven't even finished scripting it, so who knows if I'll be able to film it today, hopefully. And do I have a little bit of black? Trying to ombre it out a little bit more. What is this? It's not black. Oh, I apologize. Yes, I'm just digging around for things I should have. Pulled out earlier, but no worries. Let's just go in with the silver. One of the other books I read this week was about Sarah Kidd, the wife of Pirate William Kidd. It was interesting to see what New York was like in the late 17th century. Well, that's cool. Only 700 houses in New York when Sarah lived. Wow, that's crazy. Bio about Vincent and Theo Van Gogh. Yeah, his life was not a happy one, was it? Okay, well, the ombreing situation just completely disappeared. Do I have any? I don't think I have any, like, blue. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to try to dab some blue. just want a little. Okay, that isn't sticking at all. Oh, your first book to fulfill your art category. I can't say I've read any like art book or art history book. Okay, I'm just putting on some real glitter glue because this stuff is not sticking. Oh, come on, blue, stick. Okay, hopefully this will come together at some point. 2,000 years of cats in art. Oh my gosh. That is up my alley. That is definitely up my alley. Okay, I'm going to go with the black. Art Forger, Tony Tetro. Don't know him. Okay, we're going to go for the black. Yeah, Lynette, I think it's just you and I today, which is fine. I always enjoy talking to you. Okay. Yeah, you definitely have much more eclectic taste in reading than I do. You're definitely more of a prolific reader than most people I know. Trying to think of bios of sci-fi writers I've read. You read one of Frederick Poole years ago, but it cost me hundreds of dollars. Jeez. Prolific because you're retired. You know, I always think of Frederick Poole along with Larry Niven because I think I read Gateway around the time I read Ringworld. But I don't know if this is true or not. I heard that Larry Niven came from a really wealthy family, and that's how he could afford to, early in his career, devote himself to writing. I think my friend told me that, but I've never heard of any biography of Larry Niven. Read a couple of bios on H.G. Wells and C.M. Kornbluth. Yeah, Wells is pretty interesting. Because wasn't Wells more political or sort of respected in sort of that political literary way as a social commentator? Like Aldous Huxley. I don't think he's considered a contemporary of George Orwell, but they're all alive at the same time. Wells was certainly a social commentator, especially in his later books. Well, Time Machine, and maybe War of the Worlds too, is sort of a social comment, or can be interpreted as a social commentary. Okay, so you know who I don't know anything about is Jules Verne. Maybe just because he's French, that I just don't know much about him because we're Anglo-centric in my education. Okay. Now, if it is possible, the slide. I read a bio about Margaret Cavendish, who wrote about a world inside the Earth. She wrote it back in 1666. Proto sci-fi. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, there definitely was proto sci-fi before the 20th century. I guess we think a lot of, well, Verne's, Wells, Huxley, sort of the beginning of sci-fi. Although I guess you could go back to Mary Shelley. So it was a Roman writer who wrote about a trip to the moon. Okay, so to start smoking things out with this black. Hey, Ali Alias. Wonderful time with you. Your tablet is breaking, so I have trouble writing. We'll be back soon. Oh, thank you so much, Ali. Yes, call me smart and beautiful, all you want. Lucian of Samosata. Okay, so I'm really... Okay, I think I'm done with the eyes. As I continue working on them. Just want to... Actually, I just... Okay. Yep, now I think we're done with the eyes. Lori is here. Yay, we missed you, Lori. Yes, you're in time for the wig. There's no no wig yet. I think the only Roman novel I have read is the one about the man who turned to a donkey. The gold. What period are you talking about for Roman? I guess I'm thinking of Greek because I've read some like Aeschylus and the Frog. It's Euripides, but I guess that's not really Roman. Okay, I think I want some more blush. Okay, I'm going to go. So I think I'm just going to go and move on to lips. And we're going to do, should I do, now let's do red lips. I was going to say, should I do blue lips? But I don't think that is necessary. Golden Ass was written in the 2nd century. Okay. Do you like Ray Bradbury? I love Ray Bradbury. It's funny because he's not really known for his long fiction. He's mostly known for his short stories. But for his long fiction, my favorite is actually Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is more of a fantasy than a short story. But of course, there's Fahrenheit 451. And of course, the Martian Chronicles. Yeah, so I think it's Something Wicked This Way Comes is my favorite, followed by the Martian Chronicles. But he's also one of those authors where I actually remember short stories he's done, like the one with the children. There's like some holodeck or something, and the children make it real with like lines of the Serengeti or something. The one with the planet that rained all the time. And of course, the butterfly effect one, because Bradbury was the one that like came up with the butterfly effect, right? Oh yeah. Read one Bradbury. I think The Sound of Thunder was your favorite. Is that the one with the rain? Maybe. 451. I like 451, but it's really not my favorite Bradbury. People knowing Bradbury novels gives you happy tears. Yay! The Veldt. The Veldt, that's the one. The one with the children with the Veldt. I don't know if you know, Ollie, there was gosh, must have been the 80s. Might have been the 90s, but it probably was the 80s, where there was the Ray Bradbury Theater, which had Ray Bradbury. He was like Alfred Hitchcock, introducing teleplays of his short stories. And unfortunately for Bradbury stories, they don't really translate that well to film. But it, they're interesting to see. But they definitely did the Veldt and the and others. Okay, Sound of Thunder was the butterfly one. What's the one about the rain? I'm thinking of some other author. I don't know. Oh, hey, DK, you're here. DK Moon's here. Only read 451 back in high school. Well, I think it's both readable and fun one. It's Something Wicked This Way Comes, but of course it's also more of a children's book. Martian Chronicles, I love. That was also done as a mini-series. Not that great. Oh, Linux got it. The Day It Rained Forever. Something Wicked is great. Actually, that was made into a movie, too. Like I said, hold on, I'm doing the lips. But he broke in with short stories, and I think he's more known for his short stories and long fiction. So if I was going to recommend Bradbury, I guess it would be like The Illustrated Man, which is a collection. Martian Chronicles it's called a fix-up novel, but it's really a collection of short stories. I've seen a few of the adaptations. Yeah. Yeah. Poor Rock Hudson. But yeah, if you've never heard of the Ray Bradbury Theater and are interested in more adaptations, it's interesting. I could be getting the name of the show wrong, but I think I'm not. I never remember. I can't speak. I remember really liking Dandelion Wine, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it was about. Need to get back to reading classic sci-fi short story collections. I know I'm saying Dangerous Visions, although it's really hard to find. A friend of mine saw my video and said, "Oh, I'm going to get Dangerous Visions," and Yeah, he said it was really hard to get to or get a copy because apparently it's not in ebook form. Maybe libraries have it. Okay. I think we're done. No, eyelashes. Collection, Dandelion Wine and R is for Rocket. Dangerous Visions is amazing. And again, Dangerous Visions. I would like to read George R.R. Martin's early sci-fi. I've not read any of his early sci-fi. Yep, more Dangerous Visions. Trying to think of more sci-fi collections. I mean, they used to put out those like best short stories of, X year. Oh, I have a collection of sci-fi short stories that were really good, and it's a recent publication. Oh well, if I remember, I'll pull it out next week. Yeah, it's interesting because sci-fi writers used to come up in the short story market because you could make more money writing short stories than you could novels back in the day. But not anymore. Although I don't think short stories are making a comeback, certainly novellas are. Suddenly you see like Martha Wells's Murderbots, and I've seen several other Monk and Robot books. Um, Suddenly the novella seems to be more popular. Okay. Book I want to read is Tough Voyaging, in which Haviland Tough is an honest space trader who likes cats. Short story collection. Oh, the book I'm reading, On Earth as It Is on Television. I actually really liked the first, I'm only halfway through now. I liked the first quarter a lot. Second quarter, because it's more of a character study and not so much as plot driven. It's more character driven, and there's a lot of stream of consciousness in it. So I got a little exhausted by it on the second half, but the plot is picking up now. It's definitely one of those books where I can see it getting awards because it's somewhat literary. Or it has that literary feel to it. But anyway, instead of like part 1, part 2, part 3, it's called episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, which is kind of cute. But the chapter names are family relationships. Like one is called, or the chapter names are from the POVs. So one chapter is like husband, and the next one is stepbrother or brother, and the next one is adopted girl or something. They're all in family relationships. But then all of a sudden you see a chapter called The Cat. And so it's the point of view of the cat. So cats are a big part of this novel. I actually do think I'm going to recommend it. I haven't finished it, but so far I'm really liking where it's going. Like I said, because it's character driven rather than plot driven, it did feel a little dense in some areas. Okay, let me put on some jewelry I pulled out. Let me just do this bib thing. And okay, these earrings don't really match. Well, who cares? They're in the blue family. Okay, you guys ready for the new wig? Dun, 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 dun. It's blue. That's why I was doing blue today. But it's this blue sort of ombre to lavender with some white mixed in. So I couldn't resist, could not resist. And the only thing I'm having trouble with these types of wigs is that the wig caps can really be seen, but I put some makeup on it to darken it up because it was white. So if I get another wig, I think I'm going to stay away from the bangs. But anyway, My blue and purple wig. Okay, let me throw on some gloves. Short story category. Yeah, sometimes I'm not fond of stream of consciousness. Like if it's, you know, Virginia Woolf type thing, I'm not crazy about it. But once in a while, for me, it works. And in this case, it's working for me. But yeah. WIG. Hey, Lydia. Thank you. Absolutely gorgeous. More lavender purple. Best wig, yeah, wow. Yeah, I could definitely do purple looks with it. I just wanted to do blue because of the dark blue. I should have went blue to, oh well. Next time. I could have done a blue and lavender look, but. And there we have it. The final look. Yeah, I like how it ombres from dark blue to lavender to white. Of course, I have to get it out of my face. Okay, guys, I think I am done. We did this in 90 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, especially Lynette, who was here the whole time. That's always an accomplishment. And I really want to do that Heinlein video on women, but I haven't finished scripting it. So hopefully I'll be able to do that today. And if I can get it edited, I'll put it out this week. If not, it's the mid-year Free Cat book tag. And of course, I want to do a Critical Role video, which I'm sure none of you are really interested in, but there's some viewers that are interested in it, and I like doing the monthly recaps now. Okay, so I think we're done. Thank you again, and as usual, may all the books you read be blessed.